Hello and welcome to Dan Explains. I'm Dan. Why would I say, if you're a Catholic, you probably believe in a heresy? Well, first off, let me clarify, I'm talking about Catholics in the United States. Also, if you're not a Catholic, you can't be a heretic, at least by Catholic standards anyway. More on that later. According to a Pew Survey of U.S. Catholics done in 2019, most U.S. Catholics believe in heresy. Let me explain why. So what's a heresy or a heretic anyway? Are you a heretic if you believe in a heresy? To be an actual, manifest heretic, according to the Catholic Church, you need 1. To be a baptized Catholic, and 2. To obstinately reject or doubt a dogma of the Catholic faith, which basically means you need to be a Catholic and understand what the Church's teachings are and reject one anyway. The Catholic Church has gotten a pretty bad rap due to its history, or at least the perceived history, of how it handled heretics historically. When most people today think about a heretic in the Catholic Church, an image of someone being burned at the stake almost certainly pops into their mind. While the Church certainly was complicit in many bad actions in the past, it wasn't actually executing people for heresy. In the vast majority of cases, what was actually going on was those people were being executed by a government rather than the Church. Many European countries in the past were ruled by Catholic monarchs. Those monarchs often made it illegal to be a heretic. Oftentimes the punishment was death if someone didn't renounce their heresy, which would mean they were a heretic. Luckily, there are no laws in the books like that these days, at least for Christian majority nations. In the past, the Church would sometimes perform what's known as an inquisition, which means to question, to find heretics. Its goal was actually similar to the poll like this Pew Survey, to canvass Catholics with the specific goal to figure out which ones were heretics. So if for some reason there was an inquisition today, it would result in lots of excommunications, not executions. An excommunication, for those who don't know, is basically an official document signed by the Pope or a bishop that says a particular Catholic is no longer in communion with the Church. Okay, that was a bit of a tangent, but I think I needed to clarify a little bit of history about heresy and heretics, which, again, aren't necessarily the same thing, before talking about this Pew Survey. So the survey, which is linked in the description, was part of a larger survey on religious beliefs in general. It asked 2 questions about the Catholic beliefs. One on the Catholic teaching of purgatory, and another on what's known as the transubstantiation. What's the transubstantiation, you ask? It's the belief that the communion bread, also known as the Eucharist, and the wine literally becomes the body and blood of Jesus during a Catholic Mass. The word Eucharist literally means Christ's body. So if you're from one of those denominations that calls it Eucharist, but doesn't believe it's Christ's body, then it's a bit of a misnomer. So, what did the survey find? Well, it found that more Catholics believe in purgatory than in the transubstantiation. That 2/3 of Catholics did not believe in the transubstantiation, and only 1/3 did. Also, obviously, the survey didn't call the act of turning the bread into Christ's body the transubstantiation in the survey. If they had, that would have been the obvious reason for finding that 2/3 of the people got the question wrong. The numbers were flipped if the Catholic was a weekly churchgoer, which is better, but not good. The 1/3 of the churchgoers that don't believe, but are still going to church every week, are probably those card-punching Catholics that think they'll go to heaven if they just punch in and punch out once a week at church like it's a job. But the fact that 2/3 of people who who claim they were raised Catholic don't believe in the transubstantiation is mind-boggling. It's one of those core beliefs of the Catholic faith. In this video, I'm not going to go into the supporting reasons for the transubstantiation. That'll be a topic for another video. Anyone who was raised Catholic shouldn't need an explanation anyway. The statistic shows why Catholics are like a grapevine loaded with ripe grapes ready to be plucked by knowledgeable Protestants. Even worse, the study found that 1/4 of the surveyed Catholics knew what the Church's teaching was on the transubstantiation, but rejected it anyway. They are straight up heretics. That means that 1 in 4 Catholics is, well, they aren't Catholic. So, that's almost half of the people that don't believe. It makes me wonder just what the Catholics who are ignorant of it would decide to do if they were actually told what it is. Quite frankly, this has all come about because of poor formation. Basically, Catholic parents 30 or 40 years ago put their kids in a Catholic school and brought their kids to church once a week and thought that's all they needed to do to raise a kid Catholic. Maybe they should have taken a look at the curriculum, or better yet, participate in their child's faith formation. The breakdown between the church-going and non-church-going Catholics shows quite a strong correlation with the belief in the transubstantiation, which I suppose makes sense. Also, the modern Catholic Mass is very underwhelming and has next to no entertainment value. So, if you're thinking going to church to just watch some guy hold up and then feed you some symbolic Jesus cookie, then why in the heck would you even go? If the Eucharist isn't Jesus, then the Mass isn't a sacrifice, and it's all rather pointless. At least the Protestants have entertaining services. So yeah, most of US Catholics believe in heresy, but aren't actually manifest heretics because they're ignorant. That means most believe in a heresy, but luckily most aren't heretics. Yet. What can be done? Well, first and foremost, Catholic parents need to be more active in making sure their children understand their faith. If you're a Catholic parent and you weren't aware that the Catholic Church teaches that you're receiving Jesus' body and blood when you go up for communion, you need to do some research. Someplace like Catholic Answers is a good place to start. Link in the description. Lastly, how we treat the Eucharist reflects what we think of it. If you go to a traditional Latin Catholic Mass, you will see that it's treated much differently. If everyone treats it like it's a symbol, then you're going to think it's a symbol, even if you're told otherwise. Wouldn't people be more likely to believe if the Eucharist was actually treated with the respect you would think God deserves? If you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe to my channel, and ding the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Also, please support me on Patreon, link in the description. The more people who support me, the more time I can dedicate to making videos like this one. So, until next time, have a great week.